wasn't until 2020 that I actually sat down and watched Texas Chainsaw.
All right, how do I turn this on?
All right, here we are, 7 p.m.
Hey.
We're live.
Hell
it's the
yeah.
Screaming Room. How's it going, everybody? It's been a week. It's already Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's
the last week flew by.
It flew by.
Yep.
How was your week?
I got sick for a couple days and like a little bit of a summer cold.
Oh, that sucks.
Slept a lot.
That was your weekend. Wah, wah.
Yeah.
Did you watch anything while you were sick?
The last 2 or 3 days. I'm always watching stuff. I don't remember what did I watch? Oh, there's this one movie I watched out. It's going to be on this week's upcoming list, but it's called The Reflecting Skin. Have you ever heard of that?
No, The Reflecting
You
Skin?
have?
No,
yeah,
no.
It's from 1990, and it's crazy because it's very modern looking, and like it's really like high quality shot, and it just does not look like a movie from 1990. Like it's a period piece, but it looks like something like it has this art house kind of way about it. I'm like, man, this really feels like something that just came out. So it's very, very weird. Definitely not going to be for everyone.
Nice.
It's like a strange vampire like movie. It's
Viggo Mortensen is in it.
50s. Yeah, super
Nice.
young Viggo Mortensen. He's really good in it. Very young though. So
yeah, my internet
very
is not liking
interesting
IMDb, so sorry guys. I'm not going to be able to look up info today, which
I got it.
you're going to have to help me out with that.
Yeah, Deadpool killed it again. 97 million in his second weekend.
Yeah,
it's over 400 million now.
Yeah,
domestically.
That's going to hit.
So I don't know what it is worldwide. Oh yeah, because it's got to be like quite a bit higher than that globally. I don't even know what it is though.
Yeah.
And then Twisters came in with a nice 23 million for its third week, which is,
I heard,
damn good as well.
I haven't seen it yet, but I heard that movie is way better than it should be.
It's just
and
fun.
You liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's really just a lot like the first one, like the original one. But the best thing about that movie, it's a theater movie. It's a summertime theater movie. Like nothing where there's not any real serious like elements in it. There's no, I don't know. It's not addressing any like deep meanings or anything like that. It really is what you expect. And I think a lot of people, including myself, that's why Deadpool Wolverine's doing so good as well, is because people are wanting something that just entertains you. There's so much, especially when an election year, it's like everybody is so uptight and stressed out and like this, that, and the other. In the summertime, that's what it's about. Is like going to a matinee on a Wednesday or whatever and getting popcorn and Twister is just like perfect in that sweet spot for that. And it looks great. Like the special effects, man, like especially compared to the original one, it's just like, damn, man, like what they're able to do now. Like it feels and looks so real. But and then we had Trap with its opening weekend, did 15 million. So not too bad, but not great either. But the movie is not great. It's an M. Night movie, so it's one of those like, you're going to have a lot of hit and miss people. So I thought it would do a little bit better of an opening than that. I mean, considering Long Legs did like 23 million its opening weekend, I thought it would be more like that. But 15 is still not horrible.
It's not horrible. And M. Night needs
budget was.
What was the budget?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
Oh, okay. It might be on Wiki. Might be on Wikipedia. Hopefully I can get to Wikipedia. Am I allowed to do that? Can I do that, internet? Can I get on Wikipedia? All right, there we go.
I swear every week you have this battle with your
I know. I don't know. It's like people yell at me about how distracted I am. And it's because I have these problems. All right. I'm still getting experience producing a show and hosting at the same time, but it's okay.
Oh, damn, dude. They're saying it costs between 35 and 40 million.
Ah, that sucks. Yeah. I'm looking at what Wikipedia
reported.
says. Wikipedia says $30 million. So if it's, let's say it's 30, let's say Wikipedia, it's 30 million.
Even 30, it'll make its money back.
15 million marketing. So that you're at 45 million.
Yeah.
After marketing, and then everything else. So this movie has to make $70 million to make like a real profit.
Yeah. Yep. To make profit, they got to be at like 70, which, and that's what's crazy is that M. Night pays for these movies out of his own pocket. Like these are his, his movies now. And, I guess it's kind of one of those, if you have a couple that break even and then you have one that, does huge, then it's just like, because I know he made a ton of money on Split.
Yeah.
But see,
because it was great.
That's why, if I was him and I was making my own movies, I would try to do more smaller scope movies. Like even Knock at the Cabin, I know it definitely didn't cost as much as this did. But this movie, they had to rent out a whole entire fucking arena, dude, and like literally put on a concert with thousands of extras. Like it's crazy. Like that's the thing I was the most surprised at with this movie was just the level. Like, dude, there's so many actual extras. Like he must have employed all of Hollywood. Like it's like there's literally hundreds of cops, like tons of cars everywhere. Like all that shit's expensive.
Yeah. Well, hello, chat. You guys are active. You guys are super active in the chat. Happy to see you guys. I've been putting some comments up on the screen. We're going to talk to you a little bit. Let me see here. You were talking about Trap. Matt says it was okay. What else are we talking about? 30 million for the budget. Shrimp says Harnett was good aside from the alien ass dialogue Knight's been putting into his recent films. Yeah, his dialogue in the last is the last one that I can remember is just like the dialogue is
this
awful.
One is right there with Old, maybe worse. Like dialogue. Yeah. It's just that very strange, like nobody talks that way, and it's throughout this movie, but this one makes mistakes that even I thought made it worse than Old, because it's like nothing makes sense, nothing plays out, like there's no reality where any of this movie could actually happen, which is fine if you're going to set it in a setting like Old, where it's like it's in this weird magical universe, and you got to kind of go with that, like Old, it's like, hey, we're on a beach that makes you grow old, so you got to accept that. And once you accept that, then you can break the rules of reality some, right?
Yeah.
But this movie tries to play in a reality like Dexter, where it's supposed to be in the real world sort of thing. Like this is supposed to be it's meant to be like a thriller, but nothing happens the way it would ever actually happen. People don't ever do things like they do in this movie. And it's like constantly he makes people do things no one would ever do in order to make his plot move along. And it's like, dude, that's just bad writing.
That's frustrating.
Yeah. And like, it's one thing, like I'll accept a movie not having the greatest writing or greatest story when it's a visual movie, or it's a style movie. I'll accept those. Like me and you argue about that all the time, but like I'll accept that. But when it's a movie like this, that is all about the dialogue. It's all about
it's got to be good.
Yeah. Besides the concert going on, there isn't anything else that's, like there's no real style or visual stuff beyond that.
Yeah.
So, and then oh my God, talk about nepotism, dude. Like this is literally his daughter's concert. Yeah, his daughter's concert. Like you see almost full songs. Like he'll be literally for like 3-4 minutes at a time watching his daughter perform.
So it's
25 to 30 minutes of the first half of the movie is just her performing.
So it's an hour and a half long music video.
Like I'd say probably 30 minutes of an hour and a half is just literally her performing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, that it may be not quite that much if you actually were to time it out, but it at least feels like a third of this movie is just her performing. And like she's talented, man, very, very talented, and wrote all her songs herself and sings it, performs it. Like, dude, all the power to her. So it's like, I don't have an issue with her, to be honest. I just have an issue with M. Night. It's like, dude, I'm not saying don't put your daughter in the movie. I'm not saying don't put your daughter in the movie as the pop star or whatever. But like, dude, like, we don't want to sit there and watch her concert,
right?
You know, like a few minutes here and there is one thing, but it's just huge chunks of this movie where you're just staring at her performing on stage.
You guys are really selling this to me.
And then the biggest crime he makes of the entire movie, in my opinion, is that he has her act. And even though she's really good on stage and sings amazing and all that, dude, she can't act.
She's no J-Lo.
But no, she's just not a professional actor. Like you could tell that she just like, I'm not saying she won't be able to act like down the road, you know, she takes some classes and gets some more movies and this and that, but like, dude. So the thing is, like, it made a 15 opening. I don't think it's going to have legs either.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that chat seems to agree.
Yeah, I would say
everything wrong.
Maybe 5 million next weekend, 4 or 5 million, maybe. Actually, you know what? Probably not even that, because, like, yeah, this movie's going to do horrible now that I think about it, because this week is Cuckoo, so tomorrow is Cuckoo, and then Alien is the week after that.
Yeah. And Alien's
wanting to go to horror,
Alien's going to do really well.
I think so. I think it'll do the 27 to 30 million range. It's opening weekend.
I want to bring something up real quick. John Connor has a hot take that I want to attack. He says, of all the ways serial killers have been caught, you definitely aren't trapping them at a pop concert. Now a heavy metal concert, you may have a shot. Heavy metal people.
Movie also has 3 endings.
Yeah, I would just want to talk about taking a shot at metalheads, John. Metalheads are some of the nicest, coolest people ever. You're definitely going to trap serial killers at a pop concert than you are a metal concert.
Yep. Yeah, anybody that says that is not really a part of the metal world, because honestly, just like horror fans, metal fans are like some of the sweetest, nicest people you'll ever know. And I know, because I performed metal concerts for, you know, for about 20 years.
Oh yeah. Have you seen the picture? There's that picture going around of this guy he's this guy in a wheelchair crowd surfing at a metal show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've seen circle pits with dudes in wheelchairs. Many times I've seen that, actually.
Yeah. Heavy metal people, metalheads
carrying dudes on their shoulder, like, you know, little people carrying them on their shoulders so they can fucking party, and like, yeah, dude, it's all love, man. It's all love.
Oh, John says he's a metalhead.
Like every time I've seen, you know, like Lamb of God does the wall of death, and dudes will fall, and there'll be a dude right there to lift them up, like grab their hand and pull them right back up.
Yeah. Yeah. John says he's a metalhead. He was talking about Richard Ramirez. I'm not sure who that is. Who's Richard Ramirez? Tell me.
Oh, the serial killer from the 80s.
Oh, there's so many. I'm not into.
Well, he's the Night Stalker.
I'm not one
he's
of those,
like one of the most famous serial killers ever.
I just know
he's one of the most stylish. He was like one of the more, because he was like in the 80s, and he was a Satan worshiper, and he had the long black hair, and it was all metalled out, and girls all loved him and were into him and shit. But he was like the biggest pussy, dude. He raped and killed old women.
Ugh, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Like,
that's terrible.
Yeah, kids and old women.
Well, let's get into some of our news. There's some people in the chat excited about the teaser footage for Welcome to Derry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's start with that.
Yeah, so we're gonna start with that. Let me.
Because I haven't even seen this. I've heard, but I know that it's only like 8 seconds long.
Yeah, it's not long. I watched it.
It's not even really a teaser. It's a first look.
Yeah. So this is from Bloody Disgusting. It says HBO shares bloody new teaser footage for Welcome to Derry. HBO returns to the world of Stephen King's horror classic It. Oh, excuse me. With the upcoming prequel series Welcome to Derry, being unleashed on both HBO and Max sometime next year. We're gonna watch a little bit of a short. I have the teaser up. They showed it on X. I'm not going to show that. It's also on YouTube. We're gonna watch it. Taylor Page, Jovan Adepo, Chris Chalk, James Raymar, Madeline Stowe, Stephen Ryder, and Bill Skarsgård returning as Pennywise the Clown. That's good.
Great cast.
Alexia Fuchs, Kimberly Guerrero, Dorian Gray. Man, there's a lot of people.
Well, it's a TV show, so it's
yeah.
like...
I mean, these are some names. Welcome to Derry will begin in the 1960s and the time leading up to the events of It Part 1. The series is said to include the origin story of Pennywise the Clown. Okay, that's interesting. Andy and Barbara and Jason are on board the Pennywise prequel project from Warner Brothers, with Machete set to direct several episodes. The series will air on HBO in addition to streaming on Max. So let's take a look at this. Let me share this tab. There we go. Yeah. And we're going to watch 5 seconds of this. So here it is.
This ain't America. This is Derry.
All righty.
That's not much.
There it is, folks. There's your teaser to Welcome to Derry.
I think it's going to be really good. I mean, that teaser doesn't show anything. So, but I think all the really important elements are in place for this. Cause like all along I was like, I love the idea, but it was like, if you don't get Skarsgård, it's, you know, I'm like, I don't know. And then on top of that, they got Machete. So yeah, I think it's got a lot of potential because they also don't have to be slaves to Stephen King's poor endings.
Well,
because that's the problem with it, is the ending is just shit. Like everybody knows, it's like it's what Stephen King's famous for, is his endings are really bad.
Oh, I like the ending of it. I think it's the best
giant fucking, the whole giant turtle and fucking, it's so bad, dude.
Listen, man, he's getting into cosmic stuff. I mean, like then you read the Dark Tower series. I think it is Stephen King's best book. I mean, I do. And
I enjoyed the book. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, whenever you are trying to make a film adaptation, right, and it's someone as famous as Stephen King, you have to stick to the source material kind of close. So it doesn't allow you to get creative and do a lot of things. And I think that's part of what, because if you think about it, It Chapter 1, the first movie, was really fucking good. Everybody loved it.
Oh, yeah.
And then the second one was kind of... and a lot of that was just having to kind of stick to the writing.
Yeah.
Like they didn't want to get too far away from the writing. And I'm not like, you know, you could love his writing, whatever, that's doesn't matter. It's still having to adapt it into a movie or, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to do that. It doesn't always work the same. Whereas this, there is no source material. So they can kind of like do whatever and make something that works for a series, not having to try to work with what they are, you know, there's no fences, there's no guards up, there's nothing they have to stick to. So, well,
hopefully they do good by it. I mean, it would be nice if it, you know, feels like King, you know, and so far the only guy that's done it for me has been Flanagan. So yeah. Hopefully they can at least make it feel like King. I don't know. Stephen
King is supposed to be involved on a, like he's getting more than just paid to use the rights for the name. Like he is supposed to be involved on a creative level. I don't know. Like he's not writing it, is not the showrunner. So I don't know what all that means, but I know he is supposed to have been like consulted, like on a consultant level with it. So,
I mean, that's good, but yeah, so that's it. Welcome to Derry. That's the show that's coming out. So it should be hopefully it'll be good. You'll talk. I mean, you'll hear it here. If it's good or bad, we'll talk about it. It'll be right here on the Screaming Room. Those of you that are on the Ghost Pirate channel watching right now, please head over to the Screaming Room channel. We would love to see you over there. We'd love to see you in the chat there, and comment on this video when it's all done. If you haven't subscribed to the Screaming Room yet, please do so. We'd love to see you guys over there. So the next thing we got to talk about is a little trailer. And there's another trailer or a teaser that dropped today, like a few hours ago, that I want to get into. Steven Soderbergh's new movie that Neon's putting out.
Oh, okay. I want
to watch that. It just happened, so we're gonna
What's it
break
called?
it here. Presence.
Oh wow, yeah. I don't know anything about this. Nice.
Let me. We're gonna talk about it after this Presence trailer. Where is it?
I know I really like Soderbergh.
All right. Whoops. Okay. Yeah, I like Soderbergh as well, and so I'm looking forward to this. Plus Soderbergh with Neon, that seems like a good combo.
Dude, Neon has been on a roll right now, so like anything they do, I'm when it's as far as horror, I'm going to be first in line. The way I am with A24. So
yeah. All right, let's watch. So let's watch this trailer. I have not seen this yet. I know about this movie. I think it's going to be bad, but we'll see. This is a movie called The Red. Do you want to talk about it a little bit before we watch this?
I don't know anything about it either. I haven't seen the trailer. I know nothing about it either. I just was looking for things.
All right. Here we go. Here we go.
What did you say?
Evil.
Oh, that
Beast
was kind of cringe. What did you see? Evil.
takes all forms. It'll change you when you see it.
Why is it so bright? Why are so many horror movies doing that right now?
What, looking bright?
Yeah, like, dude, it's so much less scary. If that was Twilight, if it was the same exact scene, but it was in the fucking, what's that called? The that all photographers love to shoot in that
Golden Hour.
Yeah, if it was in that era, like, it's where it's not totally dark, so you still have some light to work with, dude, it'd be so much fucking creepier. Like shadows and all that shit. Like,
I agree.
I've been seeing this way too much in horror lately, where the whole
Have you
movie
ever
is
seen
bright as
anything like
fuck.
it?
Well, it looks like we're gonna have it on this one.
Whatever did this is bloody strong. Tore 'em apart like nothing.
I mean, I do know it's expensive to shoot at night.
It looks like a bite wound.
Maybe it's a croc or a pack of dingoes. There were tracks.
I do like that it's Australian because I've been surprised by a lot of Aussie horror.
Yeah.
The stuff that doesn't look like doesn't have much budget. I don't recognize anybody. I've seen a number of movies like this that end up, because part of it, I think, is Aussies go for it. Their movies don't hold back, dude. They like show shit and like talk about shit and do shit. Like, even Talk to Me did, a lot of that, but Talk to Me was a little more mainstream-ish, but still.
We need more movies. We need more movies like that, pushing boundaries.
Yep.
That's what we need.
That's why I love horror around the world. It's flourishing everywhere. South Korea, China, fucking Australia, Canada. Canada's been killing it for a long time. Ireland's been killing it. Argentina has been fucking, doing some crazy shit. Like Mexico.
What
Russia.
is that?
It's just a...
There it is.
It's a fucking massive room.
Hold on. Is that what this is?
Yeah, that's what this is.
It's a giant kangaroo?
It's a killer kangaroo. Let's go, boys.
Big Red. It's a zombie.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it's a zombie?
We have to do something.
CGI, though, cringe.
This is wild, though. Because it's taking it super serious.
Fuck his brains out.
He's here!
Come here, boy.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's the CGI and the way that...
Did I skip?
Because it's like I like the tone, like that it's taking it super serious. Like that's really fun to me, because it's so ridiculous. But then when you take that, it's kind of like the crocodile movies or shark movies, but it looks bad.
Oh yeah,
Cocaine Kangaroo.
Sally says never start a trailer that way. What'd you see? Evil.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there we go, folks. We're gonna have a kill. And somebody said that it's Red is referencing John said the big red roos. They're jacked. So we got a killer zombie red kangaroo terrorizing the Aussie backcountry or the Aussie bush.
Yeah, they're fucking enormous, dude. Like, obviously they're not that big, but yeah, the fucking big old kangaroos are insane, dude. They're so yoked. Like,
it looks like it's gonna be nice and gory. So that's awesome. We're gonna get some. It looks like we're gonna get some gore. We have a CGI kangaroo that sucks. So that's gonna be.
Well, no, it looked like there's some like practical, like a lot of that. There are definitely some CGI shots, but
I think the gore is gonna be practical, which is good.
Well, the kangaroo too. Like some of those shots, like especially the one at the end, it looked like that's a practical.
They're probably going to do practicals for close-ups, but they're probably going to do practicals for close-ups. For everything else, I mean, like, well, the close-up of that mouth also looks CG. So, I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's something.
It's
so
dumb. It's dumb,
but you know what? It's dumb, but it's probably going to make a lot of money. You know?
No,
you don't think so? You don't think this will be another? Like,
I don't even know if that's getting a theatrical release. Is it?
I don't know. I'd love to be able to open up IMDb and see.
I think the only reason I saw it is because Bloody Disgusting is promoting it because they're going to have it on their streaming service.
Oh, it's sorry, right? I'm looking at the end of the trailer. It is in cinemas October 31st. That says only in cinemas October 31st. So it will be. It's getting to the theatrical release.
That says cinemas. That means that's Australia.
What?
We don't call it cinema here. It doesn't say cinema.
Well,
it only is cinema if it's in. When it says that, that's referring to Australia.
Okay, whatever.
I just thought they call it in. They'll say cinema in the UK or in Australia, but here it's theaters.
But if we're watching an Australian trailer,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I doubt it's going to make it to theaters here in the United States. It might, like if enough buzz gets going for it. I think that's more of Bloody Disgusting promoting it because it's going to be on their. It's going to be on what's their streaming service?
Bloody Disgusting streaming service.
Screambox. Yeah, Screambox.
Yeah. Well,
so that's my guess. My guess is they help produce it, or Bloody Disgusting, because that's one of the things you got to pay attention to. And I didn't like Bloody Disgusting will promote movies and stuff like it's a bigger news story than it is sometimes because it's about one of their movies or one of their things, which is fine. But if you're just kind of going along like I was this morning, it's like I paid attention to why it's on there.
All right, well.
Because they usually
cross-reference with theatrical release, but if not, we're
maybe like if enough buzz gets going,
we're gonna be watching this on Screenbox, which is fine, right?
Yeah, totally.
That's okay. Yeah. All right. Well, do you want to watch this Presents teaser?
Yeah,
came out today. All right, we're gonna watch this
because this should be of a higher quality.
Yeah, this is gonna be good.
Damn, not till January though.
Yeah.
Why would you put Magic Mike? That's one of his.
It's all of his movies.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's like I would have just used the ones that are kind of more the tone of this, which is supposed to be like a thriller.
So there it
That's
is.
it.
That's it.
Fuck, dude, it doesn't give us anything.
Well, it's a teaser.
That's not even a teaser. That's worse than the Derry one. It doesn't even give you any images. Like,
Well, it's about the same. It's about the same as the Longlegs teaser. Longlegs didn't give you anything, just a bunch of pictures.
no, because the long legs still gave you a clue.
Look, Black Wolf
Like
says, love that it doesn't give
tone.
anything away like the Longlegs teasers. Well,
Yeah, but the long legs teasers gave you tone. They gave you a feel, like there was something, like a clue. Like the Derry one did the same thing, gave you a little taste. That didn't even give you a taste. That literally just told you his movies and been like, hey, he's got a new movie coming out. Unless I missed something, did you see anything in there?
I didn't see anything. That's the second time that I watched it. I watched it earlier.
I mean, the colors, yeah, like you could kind of see the palette, you know.
Yeah, that's the second time
So,
that I
I mean,
watched it, but I didn't see.
So I guess that is a little bit of a clue, like if you get the palette. But I know it's supposed to be a thriller, right? Is there anything written saying what it? Is there a synopsis or anything?
Well, I would know if I could access IMDb, but I'm still unable to access IMDb.
Dude, use Google, man.
I am, dude. I'm using both Firefox and Google, and I'm getting. It says your connection is not private. I don't know. Somebody help me. What am I doing? Am I doxing myself?
Do you have a VPN?
No, I don't have it. I mean, I have a VPN, but I don't have it on.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Is maybe the VPN is blocking certain things, but that wouldn't be the case.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that's some of the news that we have talking about this week. I watched. Layla says Magic Mike is thrilling. I guess.
Yeah,
I guess so. I guess it can be.
Yeah, depends on the kind of thrilling you're talking about, but yeah, I know a lot of women were thrilled. I worked at a theater when the sequel came out, and it's disgusting, man. Like you'd find panties and shit. You'd find like women. I don't get it. I don't get it, and I don't get
at
how
Magic Mike.
Yeah, the sequel. I didn't work at a theater for the first one, but for the second one, like women came prepared, dude. And I just don't understand if this was reversed and there was dudes going and playing with themselves at the theater, like people would have lost their fucking shit. But it was like women were doing it and everybody was just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's wild, dude.
We're not allowed to do anything. So
it's just to me, it's like, dude, do that at home, man. It's not like it was in the 80s when it was like you couldn't just watch stuff on the computer or on your TV and privacy of your home. Like anything in the world, you could even probably have gotten that movie pirated at home. Like, you know what I mean? Like at the same day it was in theaters.
Yes, you could have.
But yeah, I mean, I personally had to bag up a number of pair of panties. Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. That sucks.
Yeah, and crumpled up tissues and all kinds of stuff.
John says, isn't it strange that 2024 horror films use cuckoo?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Black Wolf says both are neon, though. So there's 2 neon.
Are you talking about Long Legs because he does the whole cuckoo, cuckoo? Are you talking about that?
Oh, yeah. Is that what you're talking about? He does do that.
Yeah, and a lot of people believe that's on purpose.
Really?
Yeah, like that. It's a small little. Studio? Yeah. Well, they're both developing and being filmed at the same time, so like it's a little nod. It's like from one director to another.
So do you think Cuckoo's gonna have something for Long Legs in there?
Possibly, yeah.
Somebody's just gonna start yelling in the car.
Well, no, because it won't be. Like that was built into the movie. It wasn't like it was out of left field. Like him doing that went with his weird nature, right?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think there probably will be a little nod to Long Legs somewhere in the, because they both knew they were coming out around the same time. We know both directors are friends. They haven't come out and said that was on purpose, but I think it probably was. They were both being developed and shot and everything around the same time. So But I'm dying to see Cuckoo. I've heard Cuckoo is like a highbrow, like a movie that acts like it's a highbrow, like artsy movie. That's really a B movie, and like it makes it a lot of fun because it's like a B movie, but that's made really sharp and artistic, like a art house. So it's like really like a fun, I don't know, like way to do it. I guess I don't know.
Well,
So we'll see.
hopefully it's at least entertaining. I'm
Yeah,
just I have been disappointed this year with all of the hype around these horror movies. And
because
I
you
have been
don't go in with hype. That's your fault. I hear this all the time. That is your fault. You build the hype in your head. You, as much as anybody, should know better.
I
Like,
didn't
that's just media shit. That's not the filmmakers. That's not the actors. That's not the artist. That's the
I'm not
fucking
talking
media. It's what they
well,
do.
okay. All right. It's media, but it's also other people that have seen the movies that tell me about it, that see them before I do. Yes.
No. All those people that go and see the movies early are part of the media. They're just hyperbolic. The whole reason that they get early access is for these big, reactions. Like, that's why these theaters let them in. Trust me, it's not that easy to get early ass screeners like that. You either are friends with people or you're basically hired in a way. They're like, hey, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. We'll get you in so you get to cover the movie early and you say some really fucking crazy shit about our movie to help drive audiences.
That's weak.
They don't even care if it's good or bad. They don't care. You could say bad shit too. They don't care. But they want you to be hyperbolic. They want you to,
Boo.
That's why I don't play that game. I don't do any of that shit.
Like, I guess you're right. I guess I
don't
gotta
request
stop.
screeners. I don't. Yeah,
I can't. So I shouldn't get hyped for Alien. Is that what you're saying? I should go in there.
No, of course, there's no reason to get hyped. It's fucking Alien. It's like, it's awesome. But if you like, dude, you're gonna hear people saying I've already seen this. I've literally seen people saying it's the best sequel since Aliens. Like, come on, dude.
That's so.
Like, come on.
My God. I know.
Like, it might be, but until I hear, like, honestly, in my case, until I see it, but if I were to not be able to see it for whatever reason for like the first week, until I heard a number of regular people saying shit like that, and even then it's like, I don't know. I'm skeptical, but also I know I'm going to enjoy almost everything on some level.
Yeah. I'm just
really I find the things I enjoy about movies, like as much as I wasn't a big fan of Trap, there were still elements about it that I enjoyed. Like I said, in my review, like, dude, it was amazing that he literally rented out a fucking arena and put on a pop concert. Like, I mean, it was really impressive. And then Josh Hartnett, like, dude, especially in the final act, man, like, he's awesome. And it's a kind of a shame because it had some ingredients that could have made it a really, really good movie. But I don't know. And that's why I wanted to talk about what your thoughts on M. Night are. But after seeing this movie, I was really thinking about it. And I was like, you know what? I think I enjoy, like, I am entertained. I can't say I enjoy. I'm entertained by most of M. Night's movies, but I can't say that I think most of his movies are like good movies per se. They're very, like, if you enjoy his style, you're going to enjoy him. Like, if you're a fan of M. Night's, but he's got a really clunky, weird way of making movies.
I have mixed opinions because I have loved all of M. Night's earlier movies. Sixth Sense, Signs, Unbreakable. I loved The Village.
Yeah.
All of the, and then Split, I thought was great. But then he makes movies.
But if you rewatch those, even those, this is kind of what I'm getting at. Like, if you rewatch those, I'm always kind of surprised on how, like, mid they are. Like, the idea, like, M. Night has some of the most creative, best ideas of any filmmaker out there, period. Like the guy comes up with such unique ideas, but it's his writing, like his dialogue and his writing is just not that good.
So you think he needs a writer?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if he had a good writer that he like worked with, it's the same thing with Rob Zombie. Like,
yeah.
And there's a lot of filmmakers that do that way, right? There's a lot of them. It's not just, because I think Rob Zombie, like the way his visuals, like the visuals of Rob Zombie's movies are fucking awesome. But dude, the dialogue is so it's the reason I like his movies though, is because I still really dig the gritty look and all of that. But the story and the dialogue is just not good.
Yeah. I guess that's what's frustrating about Shyamalan for me, is that he had all these home runs early on, and then his misses are just, I mean, they are fucking misses. Lady in the Water, The Happening, Old.
I didn't think Lady in the Water was that bad.
Oh, I did. And it was the ending that really ruined it for me. Glass. Again, like talk about just a disappointing, fuck you to the audience.
Yeah, I think Glass is one that really, because you had Unbreakable and Split, which were two of his best movies, very original, very creative, like just really cool movies. And then you had this finale of Glass, and you're just like, finally, we didn't even realize this existed until Split, and now it's like everybody's like, and then it's just like,
yeah, that's exactly what it was. But I go back and I think they do have rewatchability. I think Unbreakable definitely has rewatchability. I think Signs has rewatchability. I mean, I just watched The Village again not too long ago.
But is it the bones? Is it the framework that's good? Because I think that's what makes even those ones like. Because if you rewatch a lot of the scenes, like the dialogue and stuff is just bad. Even in his best stuff, like the dialogue is still like a lot of those like the conversations between Bruce Willis and Haley Joel Osment. Like if you rewatch a lot of those, you're like, God, dude. Like, people don't talk this way.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I should pay attention. I guess I should watch that. I should watch it again and pay attention to the dialogue. But I really like the story, and I really like the themes of a lot of his movies. Like themes.
That's what I was getting at. Themes. Like he's one of the best out there at themes.
Right.
Because even old, right? Like the idea is fucking cool. It's just the weird ass fucking dialogue that made that movie go, what?
Yeah.
Like,
honestly,
there's like one weird choice after another. Like,
I wasn't impressed with the directing, and I also wasn't impressed with the acting in Old either. Everything just.
But I think that's him.
For me. I agree. No, I agree.
Because after watching this, Josh Hartnett is an incredible actor. Like, I don't think anybody would argue he's a good actor. And then in this fucking movie, there's so many scenes where I'm like, what is going on? And it's like very clear that it is his directing. It's the way Josh Hartnett is directed to act. And the dialogue is, so when I say dialogue, it isn't just like the written, what's written on paper, but like how he has people deliver.
Right. How it's delivered. Right. Yeah.
It's like people joke about it, like Alien, because there's this just not normal human. Like there's this one scene in Trap where Josh Hartnett is acting weird through the first half of the movie. And like, I kind of get what they're going for. It's like, he's a serial killer. So he's a psychopath. He's not, and he's pretending. It's like a whole Dexter thing, right? Where he's at this concert, he's freaking out on the inside, but he's trying to be normal, but he doesn't know what normal is. So it comes out this weird way. It's like, okay, I get what they're going for. I still think it was poorly done, but whatever. Right. But then there was this one scene in particular that really stood out, where M. Night gets into this argument with this girl's mom, who his daughter is like kind of fighting with. It's not a spoiler.
I know. I was just being funny.
It's not. It has no role. It doesn't pertain to anything in the movie.
I was just being funny.
And it's just the way she acts. Like, it's the strangest. Because it's one thing when it's from him who's supposed to be a serial killer, right? It's another thing from some random mom, but she acts like a fucking alien too. And you're just like, what? Like she goes from like 0 to 1,000 like almost instantly for no reason, and then she like calms down super fast, and everything about the way she talks and the way she moves is so weird. I'm just like, what? Like, where does M. Night live that he sees people talk this way?
I mean, I don't know.
What the fuck?
I don't know. And
Maybe there's a weird ass gated community somewhere where M. Night lives, and everybody is like weird aliens, and they all act like this, so he doesn't know any different.
I think
saying.
I don't know, and I can't because I haven't seen the movie, so I can't really comment on it.
Yeah.
And none of this is making me want to see it, but I feel like I have to now just so that I can experience this and have an opinion of it. But I don't want to pay money to go watch. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to pay money to watch a bad movie. You know what I'm talking about?
I would wait for it to stream, but it's a movie that you'll be interested in, that I recommend watching to see how a movie can have a good idea, have money, have a good cast, how it can have all these things and yet can easily be derailed. And it's like the decisions are so clear. That's the one thing I think that makes this movie so people are so divided on, right? Is because those of us that watch a lot of movies or make movies or whatever, we're around movies a lot, and we see the like structure and how editing's done and how things are put together, right? We see the behind the scenes in a way, right? It's so clear. So clear. Like this movie is so clear. The mistakes. It's like one after another. Every single scene, you're like, wait, that could be so easily have been done right. He literally makes one little weird decision here. If he had just simply done it this way or done this instead, it's a dramatically different scene and it all works. But he does this one little thing and it's just, that's not right. And so the whole movie, you're just like, yeah, that's not right. And there's another bad decision. And there's another bad decision. And I don't get it. And it's so weird because I've never seen a filmmaker be so hit and miss, like able to have great ideas. And then, and it isn't even a matter of, okay. There is one thing I've heard some people saying that is a possibility. As you know, we've talked about, like you've talked about before, that sometimes production companies can help make a movie good.
Yes.
You know, sometimes studio interference is needed, and sometimes it can make for a good movie. And it makes me wonder, because all of his best movies, for the most part, were all done with studios. And a lot of the movies he's made since he's kind of fallen off in most people's minds are the movies he's made where he really kind of runs the show.
Yeah.
You know, with his own money, his own studios, his, you know, even if he's not totally paying for them, he basically is getting investors. So it's still really his project without having anyone tell him he can or cannot do things. And
right.
I kind of wonder if that's part of what we're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you know, you don't actually know until you go behind the scenes and see what's going on. But I for all of the shit, a lot of people like to talk about studios and production companies and producers coming in and just ruining the movie and the vision of the filmmaker. There have been a lot of examples where they have actually helped and tried to make something good. And it's just a shame that more people don't talk about that, which, you know, everybody wants somebody to blame. So it's easy to just blame the studio for your movie being bad, you know, and then you want to take all the credit for your movie being good if the studio did help with that, you know.
A lot of people talk about that. The only time you ever hear of a producer or of a studio is if it's failed. You know, nobody talks about or gives credit to them. They just talk about the director when a movie's good and it's successful. But they're, you know, and it's not just the studio or the producers. There's so many people involved in making a movie. Like it's just, you know, it's insane. It's like going to a you know, any business and only giving credit to the owner. Like it doesn't work that way. Like an owner can be a great owner, but if he doesn't have all the right people in the right places, all doing a great job, it's not going to work.
Right. No, I agree.
So that's why like, I was hanging out with my friend having lunch, and he's a producer, and it's cool because I don't think a lot of people realize that a lot of times producers are almost like contractors. You know, they're the ones that kind of put a lot of the pieces in place. It's like the director might pick some of his people, right? But a lot of the other stuff, our producer is the one that connects these dots and gets the special effects guys involved, gets, you know, and picks the right heads of different departments to, you know what I mean? And like,
right.
A lot of moving parts, and producers have a lot to do with that, especially on these smaller indie movies. A producer has a lot more to do with it, because it's kind of one of those where most people just think, oh, a producer is money. And it's like, yeah.
The title of producer is so
broad.
Yeah. Like, you can be a producer and like have like one thing, like you happen to not charge the filmmaker for a location or something and get a producer title.
Well,
like,
yeah, but a lot of that will be like an executive producer title.
Executive producers are usually money. So if you see executive producer, that's usually money. Associate producer, produced by, like those aren't necessarily money. That might be something else. You know,
it's so weird because sometimes, or a lot of cases, like a producer will be the money guy, but it's not their money. So it's like they're getting a bunch of investors, and they kind of like are the bank in a way. They're getting all these investors to invest, and you know what I mean? And that's their job. And then you'll have other producers that are like the art guy. They're the guy that's got the vision, because like you'll hear that a lot with like the movie Poltergeist, where it was directed by Hooper, right? But everybody says that it was really done by Spielberg.
Right.
You know, like that's the story that goes back forever, but it's like, well, Spielberg produced it. Like, you know.
Right. So he had a hand in it, or he tried to have a hand in it.
Well, a lot of people think there's rumors that he was literally on set like every day.
Yeah.
You know, and that actually made that movie. And it feels more like a Steven Spielberg movie than it does a Tobe Hooper movie as well. So it's one of those tricky things. At the very least, we know he was heavily involved, but that's the point. He had a producer credit on that movie, but we know he was very involved in the day-to-day. So yeah, it's very strange.
And I mean so you can get that from anything. I mean, you know, so when it comes to producers and it comes to movies, I mean, like it's hard to tell like how somebody got a producer credit, but yeah, I mean, you know, and how involved that would be, or I guess how involved your role would be in getting the producer thing. It's such a broad term that it's like,
it's like a Hollywood lawyer too. Like
right.
Hollywood lawyer is another one where it's crazy. I never knew this until, you know, the last couple of years, but like lawyers, it's not your agent. Like a lot of people think it's your agent that finds you gigs or sets this up or connects you to the, no, dude, most of the time it's your lawyer. Like the lawyers are the ones that connect you to all these different things. It's wild. I'm like, what? Why? How does a lawyer do it? And it's like, because they will connect you with an agent. They'll connect you with a booking agent. They'll connect you with, you know, like all these different things. They end up being kind of like the hub in a lot of cases.
Well, yeah, because I mean, everything's going through them. Contracts are going through them. You know, like stuff like that is going through them. I mean, you just have you have your lawyers looking at everything. So and everybody not everybody uses the same lawyer, but a lot of people use the same lawyer,
especially law teams, and that's why it's called a Hollywood lawyer versus, you know, that's where the name comes from. Instead of calling it just a lawyer, a Hollywood lawyer is different. They're almost like a lawyer and an agent wrapped into one.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing the movie Maxine did really well, I think, was showing how her lawyer he ends up being almost her everything. Like he's her bodyguard. He like protects her, so to speak, in a legal way, but like far beyond that, you know?
Right.
You haven't seen that yet, have you?
I have not seen Maxine yet. I know I'm behind on that.
Streaming now, I believe.
Is it? Okay, I'll watch it. I keep hearing,
I think it's
tell me if
only
I'm
a
wrong,
rental though.
but I keep hearing that the first 2 acts are great and then it starts to fall apart in the 3rd act. That's what I'm hearing.
I don't think it does at all. I love the ending, but I get why people say that. And I said that when I reviewed it, is that people would, because it's not that the ending or the 3rd act falls apart. It's that it just goes bananas. It's hard to follow. It's very strange. It's quirky. It's like, and I can't really say why that is, but I think a lot of people miss that. So I'll say this. People have missed the fact that in Pearl and in X and now in Maxine, our main character is kind of delusional.
Okay.
And so everything you see is not always just cut and dry. And it's like almost like a version of reality, and the version of reality that they see. Like Pearl was like a really good example of that. It's like that whole movie is through her lens in a way. And so it's skewed. Like everything is kind of not right. It's the reason everything is so poppy, Disney colored. You know, it's Ty West purposely shot those movies like that movie to make it look that way, because you're seeing it through this kind of delusional character. And Maxine goes back into that, and the final act, it's like when shit really hits the fan, it's like her mind starts to see the world in a not completely real way. And there's something that they do that a lot of people don't follow, but it's very clear. Like, this isn't even an opinion. This is literally what happens. It's just a lot of people don't realize that that's what is happening. And if you see it a second time, it's more clear. But they even talked about this and worded it better than I am on the Dead Meat podcast today. They actually covered Maxine today. And they do really good at like diving deep into movies when they cover them.
I'll have to look at that. Sorry, I was dealing with something, but I'll have to watch that. But I do need to see Maxine. Like I do need to see it.
Either way, I think it's a really fun conclusion to what I think is one of the best horror trilogies we've ever had. Because you could say any one of the movies by itself, you wouldn't necessarily maybe say it was like one of the greatest movies, but as a whole, like, dude, there's very few trilogies in horror that are this good. Like, all three are at least well made and enjoyable, at least on some level.
I liked X and Pearl. I have a feeling I'm gonna like Maxine, but it's just what I've been hearing from other people is that it kind of falls apart in the 3rd act. But you're saying that it goes into some perspective stuff.
It does, and it's very it's very Hollywoodized too. So like there's a lot of stuff that unless you're in the industry, it won't hit you as hard maybe, or even if you're not in the industry, but like you pay a lot of attention to it. You know, like there's one scene where she's cutting up her cocaine with her stag card.
I mean, okay, I guess that's an industry thing, but like, I don't know. It doesn't get too meta with it. Because I don't like when movies do that.
No, it's not really meta. It's just the whole movie is taking place in Hollywood in the 1980s. So, and she's on the movie sets and talking to everybody in it is involved in the movie industry. So like, it's not meta. It's just, this is where she is. Like, this is what's happening. But it's one of those where I think not like your average Joe won't appreciate a lot of those things as much, you know, but like if you're someone that watches a lot of movies and pays attention to how they're made, you know, and just
you'll get it.
Yeah, there's more depth to it. And I think, you know, but you could even say the same thing about X and Pearl both. Like there's a lot of layers to those movies that your average moviegoer didn't quite grasp, you know, or didn't really fully appreciate. So I think, you know, but I think a lot of people too just need to kind of just have fun with Maxine. Like of the three, it's the most fun in my opinion, the most like not taking itself serious of the three. You know, it's much more like a wild, crazy giallo 1980s detective thriller. You know, like it literally is made to be like an 80s cheesy thriller like TV show. Like there's a lot of it that has that, you know, like what are the names of some of those? But like, you know, those 80 cops shows that were like Miami Vice almost, you know, like there's
it
has a lot of that feeling about it, which I think is just fun. It's not as serious or as dark as Pearl and X. It's kind of a little more like just there's more camp to it. You know, it's so I loved it. I loved it, but I also can't compare them. And I've said this from the beginning. Like people were always like trying, you know, which one do you like more, Pearl or X? And now they're like, you know, which one? And like I can't do that because to me they're apples to oranges. Like all three are completely different. It's like Ty West paying homage to different eras of film, and each one has its very distinct style. And like even though they're all three connected, they're all three dramatically different too.
Well, I will get around to watching it. I will do that. I have, like everyone, have a backlog of things to watch, but I'll definitely get to it. I've been meaning to. Anyway,
yeah,
that's gonna do it.
I have a backlog.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah,
but that's gonna do us. It's 8:00 Eastern,
yep.
5:00 Pacific, whatever o'clock, wherever you are in the world. And thanks for coming to watch us. Hope you guys like the show. Thanks for being in the chat. Sorry we didn't get to a lot of the chats tonight. Leave us a comment on this video once it uploads, and we respond to all the comments. So please do so.
Absolutely.
And if you have not subscribed to the Screaming Room yet, please go do that. We're trying to build this. We're not going to be streaming from Ghost Pirate very long. We're gonna be eventually moving this just to the Screaming Room. So if you guys like this, if you guys like this show, please subscribe to the Screaming Room. Ding that notification bell and show us some love over there and talk.
Yeah, we just need the algorithm to basically start to show other people.
Yeah, that's
that
what we need.
Channel because right now it gets like no traction at all. So.
I know, and it's because it's just nothing but live. So anyway, but we're doing it. So thanks for coming out, everybody, and we will see y'all next week.